Hi, welcome to Quantum Lucid. I wanted to talk about your awareness and how not to look outside of your awareness for anything in terms of proof or validation. Your awareness is once again your truths, your beliefs about being and having all that you desire now. Being that person for whom everything and everyone is the way you want it to be. That's awareness of being and having that which you desire now. So awareness is your beliefs, your truths about yourself, the world, and everything and everyone else. That's awareness. Looking outside your awareness is for proof or for checking or validation does not help. Meaning it really is irrelevant. Because if your awareness is the ultimate truth, it's what manifests. It's what objectifies. Awareness of being is what moves things. It's what manifests your desired outcomes. Of being, doing, and having all that you desire, wish, and want. So, once again, looking outside of yourself, looking outside of your awareness will not help. It is not going to work. Your awareness is everything. Your awareness is your world, your reality, your life experience. So looking outside does not serve you, will not serve you. You can if you know that it can't affect your manifestation. You can look at it in terms of it being pixels or information or suggestions, that's all. But to look outside of you in terms of expecting it to validate your awareness, to validate or prove that you are right in imagining or thinking or believing what you do is wrong, is the wrong approach. So therefore, awareness of being is literally you standing in the conviction that what you are aware of is the actual truth. And that is what will manifest. So it's not about ignoring the 3D or trying not to check or forcing yourself to cover your eyes, not looking at the internet or not listening to the media, etc. You can do any of that as long as you know that is not what is really happening. What is really happening is what's in your awareness. Until and unless you can learn to live like that, you're going to have a hard time navigating or living fulfilled or having the confidence to go forward in your life. Nothing is outside of your awareness. Nothing is outside of your truths and beliefs of being and having that which you desire. No matter what it is, however specific or whatever. No exceptions. Your desires are your desires, but looking outside is not going to help if you don't know that what you have decided as your awareness, what you are aware of, is the actual truth. So whatever is displaying or playing in front of your eyeballs in the so-called environment is irrelevant. So let's take an example. I like giving examples and I think this helps others a lot. So you're watching a sports game and your favorite team is playing another team, but you desperately want your favorite team to win the game. Well, they don't. But you've decided that they've already won. But in front of your eyes on TV, you just saw that they lost to the other team. Everybody's celebrating, it's on the news, it's all over social media, it's a fact. Your favorite team has lost while the other team has won, but you decided in your awareness that they won. So what's going on? This is where everybody gets stuck. Nothing's going on. If you've decided they won, they won. And that's the truth. You just need to leave it at that and move on from there. But you will say, how does that work? It means that my imagination or manifestation doesn't work. No, it does work. But you'll say, that means I'm just living in my head. I'll never get to enjoy it in the 3D. No, you're not living in your head. You do get to enjoy it in the 3D. But you'll say, but no, my team lost. I saw the game. The replay, the video is right there. It's proof. But then you just said that is the proof. Meaning you just invalidated your imagination, your decision, your desire, your awareness. By saying that what's on TV is more valid. Until and unless you can learn that the real validation is the one that you choose, the real proof is in your desire and awareness of it, you will live in a world where your manifestation doesn't work. So, you desperately wanted your team to win, and they won. But you say it's in your head, in your awareness, but then when you turn on the TV, the news says differently. And you get stumped. And you get flabbergasted. And you say, well, isn't it the whole point to live in the 3D and experience it in the 3D? Well, you treat the 3D as if it's something separate. Meaning, it has power outside of I am consciousness. It's a different entity by itself, who has its own source in consciousness, while I am is another player, and then there's social media and internet and other people. So there's multiple sources of the truth. I am pure consciousness isn't the only one and only source. So TV, television, media, other people, videos, stamped documents, those are all sources. So you're saying that there's multiple sources, right? and they all play a role, while sometimes your consciousness is right, sometimes your consciousness is wrong. And sometimes they are right, and sometimes they are wrong. But you live in a mixed world. Well, if you're going to live like that, that defeats the whole purpose of your free will, of you being, doing, and having everything that you want and desire to be. So, if you've decided that your favorite team won the game, then they did. What you're seeing outside, so to speak, on TV and media, or what you call information space being displayed, is irrelevant. Your focus and your new reality is the reality where your team has won. Think in terms of multiple parallel timelines and realities. Yes, you're now in the reality where your team has won. And you leave it at that. What, regardless of anything, will happen is that will become the reigning truth of the day, and that is what will display on the screen of space, in the information space. That is law. The so-called molecules that you think are floating around and creating this three-dimensional world, when there is hardly any, is where your news is going to be displayed, that your team has won. But the more you keep looking and checking the news to think that it'll change into the one that you desire, that's where you're going wrong. It will display, it will show, it will appear, but not because the other changes into it. No, it will show and display because it was always the truth. You don't have to find it, you don't have to write it up, you don't have to make it up. It will display as the truth. And that'll be the truth of the day. How and when? There is no how and when really for you to worry about. It will just be that way. So that's all you need to understand in order to understand how your awareness is the proof, is the validation. When you want and desire something and you decide that you already have it, that's all you need. You only need me, as scripture says. That's what it means. The only way consciousness is aware of itself is through your awareness. Awareness of being. I hope this helps. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will talk to you in the next video.